Hey guys, this is Blake from Mac Kiteboarding here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Duotone Jaime Textreme. This past June, Hilary, Rygo and I had the opportunity to go to the distributor meeting for Duotone and try out all the new 2020 gear, which was really awesome. We had a great time. We were in Bolonia, Spain, and so we got to test out all the boards, all the gear. We've been to all the dealer meetings, and Mac Kite carries eight brands actually, so I can pretty much choose whatever board, whatever kites I want. And the past 3 years I've been choosing to ride specifically the Textreme, and so today we're going to go into why that's my favorite board for the past 3 years, what changed, and what I like about it so much that I've chosen that board 3 years in a row. And if you click that icon in the top corner of your screen, I've written this whole video down so that you can read it if you'd like. And when we were in Bolonia, Spain, we got to meet Jaime and Manu, the guys who the board is named after and who created it, which was really cool for me because I've been riding this board for 3 years now, and to meet the legend behind it and the guy who designs and makes it was really cool, and got to pick their brains a little bit about what's new, what's changed, what they kept the same, because it's such a great board as it is. How could you even change it to make it much better? So yeah, that's what we're going to get into here, is just the differences, the changes, what's new, and why it's my favorite board for the past 3 years. So first off, let me say that this is not a board for everyone. This board is amazing, it's great, but there's so many boards out there that you can choose which one specifically is for you. So this board is pretty snappy, quick, very fast, and it just rockets over the water. So if you want just a more of a mellow ride, something easier on the knees, softer, more comfortable, just like a cruising board, this is not it. If you're looking for a wake style board, something you can hit the park and go off kickers or sliders, that's also not it. If you're looking for a board where you mostly ride in chop, I choose to ride this board in chop because I always like the consistency of its pop. It just kind of skips over the chop. But it will be a little bit harder on your knees because it's carbon, it's stiff, and this board is meant for freestyle. That being said, if you want to go really big, if you want a fast board, if you want to be able to progress, have something really precise that you can dark slide and you feel like you have a knife cutting through butter, if you want a board that'll always boost as high as you possibly can, even in light winds, I've found that this board is really good because it has so much channeling in the bottom and it's just like very light. So you're not plowing through the water, you just get up and you get on plane real quick. So if you want something that you can do tricks with in light winds, if you want something that you can just send it really big and do a bunch of kite loops, big air tricks, similar to the videos that I've been making for you for the past years in Ride with Blake, this is a board that's really good for those, because all those big tricks, I've told you before time and time again in the videos that the key to going big is getting a lot of speed and having a lot of power. So with this board, it makes that a lot easier. So let's get into what's new. Honestly, I talked to Manu, the designer on the beach. Really cool guy. Thanks for talking to me, Manu. And basically, honestly, they didn't change much at all. And sorry for the anticlimactic gear review here, but you know, it's such a good board, and it's been such a good board for the past 3 years that changing anything really would like hold it back, or might like sacrifice its awesomeness, because you know, when you change something so good, what are you gonna accomplish? So they did change a few things, but basically kept it the same, mostly just graphics really. But anyways, that being said, I'm still gonna go into why it's so great and why it's still one of the best, most versatile boards in their lineup, and why it's my favorite one. And another thing I learned at actually we went to the dealer meeting in Tenerife, which was in the Canary Islands. So that's where I first met Jaime. He's actually kind of gotten away from the designing and working on the board. More so it's just the name is in his legacy, and Manu has taken over the board design and really is working on that. So what I got to do is try out like a bunch of boards that all look the same. So there's like a variety of prototype boards that he was working on and developing. They all look the same, they all look like the Textreme, but they had different rails and different rockers to them and different edges and everything. So basically it all looked the same, I didn't know what was what, and he gave me them, and the one that I picked that I liked the best was the one that hasn't changed. So that being said, I think it goes to show you that those tweaks and minor things, they all felt a little different, and some were cool in some ways, but not exactly what I like. I like the sharp edge, super fast channels that hold straight, track really well, but you can still be playful with it. Pops super nice, a little soft in the tips, but stiff in the center so that you can really hold that edge down no matter whether you're super powered or if you're in light winds. One of the reasons that I've gotten into these gear reviews, I thought I would just stick with trick tips, but Matt Kite has given me the opportunity to go to all the dealer meetings, and now I've had the opportunity to go to the distributor meeting. So what that means is that we sit in the mornings and we learn all about what's new with the gear, what they've done, what they've changed. We went for Cabrina, we went for Duotone, we went for North. After we learn about it, then we go try it. So it really helps you understand the design and everything. Honestly, I'm just like you guys. I'm not a salesman. I don't work in Matt Kite's shop. I just ride and I make videos now to help you guys learn tricks. But that being said, I've had the opportunity to try all these things, and I have now a lot of knowledge about the gear. So whether I liked it or not, I was learning about it, and then I was trying it, and rather than just riding something and be like, oh yeah, this feels nice, or I like this one because I don't know why, I just like it. I have all this knowledge from these meetings that I've had to attend. And it's really cool because now, rather than just riding something, I can kind of understand what's going on as I'm riding it. And so to break it down into simple terms, one of the key features in the Jaime Textreme is that it has a double diffuser bottom. And what that means is basically you can have like a flat bottom, and that'll just kind of plow through the water, and it doesn't generate much speed because it's just kind of pushing through the water. So once you add just like a single channel, then that'll kind of break the surface tension and allow your board to take off a little bit easier, pop a little bit better, and it just kind of changes the way it rides. In the bottom there's like a big channel, but it's like a big circular channel. So it breaks the surface tension on this side, breaks the surface tension on the other side depending on which way you go. And then what that does is when you land, when you hit the water, kind of disperses the water out so that it makes your landings a bit softer. And then when you pop, it pops, and it just like rockets you into the air. And so what that does is it creates a super fast ride, and the tips are a little softer so it can like kind of bounce over the chop, whereas that center part is really stiff, but at the same time it has the diffuser, so it allows you to rock it over the chop without it being too much. Because sometimes if the board's too stiff, you're just like pounding on the water. The one thing I would say is, like for Hilary, for example, Hilary's ridden this board all over the world. I actually taught her on the Textreme Pro 141, and the sizing of the board is very specific to the rider. And honestly, for a girl like Hilary who weighs almost nothing and much smaller, she needs a much smaller board. And for different boards you can get away with bigger boards, but this one is so finely tuned and so specific. For riders, if you're like Hilary, if you're a smaller person, I'd recommend either the 133 and you can make that work, or getting something like the Jaime, which is just as good. It's just not as stiff. Jaime is just a little bit softer. It doesn't have the Textreme carbon. It's also a little cheaper, so if you're buying this board, go for that one if you don't feel like spending that much money, because it is a big purchase when you buy the Textreme. But I would say that it's totally worth the money. If you have it, go for the Textreme if that's something you're looking for, because it makes a huge difference with that carbon technology. Basically the sizing of it, just make sure you get the right size. If you're looking for a really great all-around board, the Jaimes are amazing, whether it be the regular or the Textreme. My preference is the Textreme, but either one is just an all-around beast, whether it be flat water, chop, some big waves. If you're super nuked, super powered, overpowered, just holding down that super sharp edge just really keeps it down. The tips are soft so that it can go over chop really easily. And in light winds, like I said, you can just get up and go just because of the channeling in the bottom and the lightweight construction. Just so easy to pop up and ride. I wouldn't say just replace your door board with a Jaime. That's not what I'm saying. Just if you're looking for a board that you can do tricks in light wind with, and it can get you up and planing. When I'm saying this about light wind riding, do take in mind that I have a lot of experience riding in light winds. the past 10 years I've been riding every single day that the wind has blown, whether it be 5 knots or 50 to 60 knots. So I have a lot of experience with light winds. That being said, I do loan my board out to people when they're struggling with the same size kite or even bigger kite. And whatever board they're riding, I give them mine. And usually this Textreme does the trick just because it's such a good light wind performer. One quick tip here is that with the Jaime, it has those channels, and so you can get up and ride. But if you feel like you're just a little underpowered, what you do is you just wiggle your feet, your back foot especially, and that'll just get the board up and just take it on plane. So you can kind of bounce your shoulders and your knees and wiggle that back foot, and it'll take off. And this thing's like a rocket ship. It'll just take off and you just along for the ride. Once you learn how to control that, it's kind of like you're driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. So other boards to me are more of like driving like a sedan or a comfort car, where it's super comfortable, things are easy, it's nice and controlled, you have everything dialed in, but it's not that high-end, top-speed, fast board. So that's basically what I'm saying here about the board, is that it's like a top-of-the-line, high-quality race car of a board. So the reason I love this board so much, and I just choose it every year, is that I love to go big. I want to jump as high as possible all the time. I love kite looping it. I love getting as inverted as possible, doing as many rotations as my body will spin. If I had to classify myself as a kiteboarder, I say my freestyle days are over. I still like to unhook and throw a back mob or a handle pass here and there, but I just want to have fun and ride for as long as possible. So I just enjoy looping it, going as big as possible, and the board that I've found for me that does the trick every time is the Jaime Textreme, because it's just so fast. As I've said in my Ride with Blake videos to you all, for any trick, the key to getting the right pop and the right amount of air and everything that you want is speed. So you want a board that'll go fast. You don't want a board with a lot of rocker. That's more freestyle, park, that sort of stuff. So if you're riding a board with a lot of rocker, it's gonna hold you back from getting as much height as you can. Or if you just have like a soft flexi board, it doesn't quite generate that amount of pop. This board is stiff, so when you push back, it'll launch into the air. It's like, it's just gonna, the water is gonna push it, it's gonna generate a lot of force, and it's gonna go up. So once you get the feeling of going bigger, going higher, you want a stiffer, faster board in order to get as high and do all the tricks that you want to do. Also for like dark slides, back roll hand drags, like I feel like when I hop on this board I can land anything, whereas if I've been on other boards before and it just feels like just not right, you know, or you just don't feel as comfortable or as confident going out there and doing the tricks that you want to do. So all brands have their high performance free ride board just like this one. I've just chosen this one because to me it's the best for all around conditions, and I would say this one is the winner. So I have the opportunity to try all the gear and all the boards and all the brands, and this is my top choice. Alright, so I would not recommend this as just a free ride board, something you want to take out and just as a cruiser, unless your water is really flat, or if you're just wanting to take it mellow, have a nice smooth ride. This board is amazing, but it is stiff, and so if you're riding this and just not really doing tricks or not trying to jump high and do all these things, I would go for something much softer, because it does like bounce off the water or skip across the water, and if you're not fully in control of it, or if you're not that aggressive of a rider, I would say that it can be kind of hard on the knees. Like I said, for Hilary, as she's learning, you know, she'd get off the water and her knees would be aching. This is for someone who's specifically looking to do big tricks and go fast. But then again, if you're an intermediate rider and you just want a fast board, but you don't need to jump, you don't need to do all the crazy loops and stuff, you can still ride this and it'll send you to the moon. It's just not something for someone who's just looking to cruise and not jumping or anything like that. Yeah, so we just had a great time testing out the new gear, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. We'll be producing a lot more videos and content about product clips throughout the year and throughout the season. We tried out almost everything we could get our hands on, and it's all good stuff. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like our channel, subscribe if you want to see more of these. And if you click that eye icon, in the top corner of your screen, then I write all these things out because it's a lot to think about and a lot of different terminology and everything. So I write it all down for you so you can read it as well if you have any questions or want to get a little more detailed. So that's it for this week, and we'll have another one for you next week. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on the water. Peace.